Top 5 decks for April 2021, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this was a little bit harder because we've seen the metagame kind of shaping up. There's like very clear winners for what we've seen for the format, but beyond that, it kind of starts to deviate, and you kind of are like, is this like 1.5 or is this tier 1 in and of itself? So guys, make sure you smash the ever-living crap of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more excellent content, and let's get into this breakdown. And Rogue should be tomorrow. Number 1 on our list here for top 5 is actually going to be frickin' Praying Kids, of all things. I internally debated on putting this in top 5, but I was like, honestly, after its last breakdown for the last extravaganza, I think it deserves it at this point in time. Praying Kids in this stupid big butler interruption through the opponent's turn is a really big issue. Also, if you let this deck go, you're going to be like, what happened? Where'd you get all this free advantage? It's almost kind of like Unchained in a way, but doesn't suck. Sorry, Unchained players. I love you guys. You're great people. Also, they also have a Link 1, by the way. Meow, meow, mew. Push this deck up over time. But now that we slow down the format a little bit here, and you generate, what is it? All these monsters that self-float into other combo pieces, you get back row removal through the Link 4. The fusion monster gives you the ability to rip through your opponent's field. Meow Meow Mew allows you to banish it from the graveyard to keep the big guy on the field so that you don't lose him. So what's going on? Why is this so good? Well, in a format where we're kind of starting to head towards break my board, a deck that kind of doesn't care if its board gets broken, it'll just rebuild it on the next turn. It plus like 2 interruptions, like, trust me guys, when you can produce a field of like 2 pops that's like self-protected and infinite floats, yeah, there's bound to be something. Also, this deck can basically just hand trap you out of your mind, between like what Pack was doing for innovation, exploring more of a trap aspect of things, with the whole Ice Dragon's Prisoner. You're just going more hand trap heavy. Just kind of depends on your flavor. But this deck being the king of 1-card engines, next to number 2 on our list here. Number 2 on our list here is Invoked. Now, I want to encompass in the Invoked here the Shadal aspect of this too. So, the Invoked engine is going to go with something else later on down the line here when we talk about Eldritch. But Invoked Dolls has been pretty much the bigger one for the most part here. So Invoked Dolls go, hey, look at me, I can make Macabre. I'm an Omni Negate. And then they basically will use Winda construct. Basically the entire Shadal package is just a buffer there to make sure that they can break these relatively large boards or massively inconvenience the crap out of you with Winda. Also, what is it, 95% of your matchups, if you out a Winda, they can just make another Winda. I think that's the thing it's most hilarious. It's like, aw, you spent all that time breaking Winda. Aw, it'd be a shame if I put another one back on the field. And you're just like, ugh. Also, Construct can be a pain to deal with some days. Also, this deck is also notorious for basically being 1-card engines. Also, basic Shadal Fusion, just letting you fuse from the deck when your opponent's got anything on the field that was special summoned from the extra deck. Okay, let me just start choking up my free advantage here. Like, Shadal's been one of the most resilient decks that we've had throughout the years. Granted, it's not as busted as it was back in its earlier prime, yes, but now it's become this anti-meta package when combined with, it's almost like 1-card engines are really good. That would mean that 1-card engines are superior to the rest of the format. Yeah. It does look that way. So, Invoked Dolls pretty much running the lower end of the tier 5, or the top 5 spectrum. I think it and Praying Kids can kind of fight back and forth for the last spot. Doesn't really surprise me all that much. Next up, I have to put Dinosaurs really high up here. Now, the only reason why I'm putting Dinosaurs up here is if you play against players that, okay, so you lose to Lancy, all right? Like, you have an auto lose button in 95% of the metagame, all right? Now, if you're playing a local scenario event with this, I think you can get free wins all day long with Dinosaurs. I think a lot of people will agree with that too. if you're playing in an extravaganza and you start losing to Lancias, well, that's where your problem is, right? Just don't lose to Lancia 5-head. I think it's the biggest reward versus the biggest risk. The biggest reward is you make these huge fields. You're the king of going second. You can smash through, break these boards. If you're playing against somebody that's not familiar with how Dino combo works, or they don't have the Lancia, or you go second, you Mystic Mine them and start breaking their field, that's how you're going to win. Modern Dino right now has gone towards the going second approach, where they'll just be like, oh, you didn't shoot the Lancia in standby phase? Mystic Mine? I mean, obviously, like, you can shoot the Lancia at that point, but it's like now I have to deal with the Mystic Mine. So, it's kind of where we are right now. Dinos, like I said, they've evolved into going second. Monkey go brr. But, I mean, when you have a deck that clearly loses to just Lancia, you're like, Robbie, why is it so high on the list? Lancia just destroys it. There's nothing else that really hits that high on the list for the risk versus reward of basically the one card engines. Alright, like, let's be honest here. Dinosaurs boards, for what it does, really make it one of the scariest decks in the world. And have you read Misk does? Alright, unfortunately, Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus is one of the dumbest hand traps in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so that being said, we're here right now. Number 4 on our list here is actually going to be Dragon Link. Now, we'll revisit this post Ghost from the Past, because this deck will probably shift back up into the Tier 1 category. But for right now, for the whole 2 weeks that we have before Ghost from the Past, you kind of look at this deck and you're like, what happened? Out of the last extravaganza, this deck just massively fell off the radar. And it really... It shocked, I think, a lot of people to see that Dragon Link is just kind of tidying control for Chamber. Alright, it's like, oh yeah, tidying, do what I want to do. Oh yeah, this is fine. Like, tidying's the best card they have in the modern build. Now, Ghosts from the Past are going to get a lot more explosive. You'll probably see Dragoonity actually get to come back into the fray. Yeah, I know. Actual pure Dragoonity. Yeah, I've got a deck profile for that we'll put up sometime in the next week, where you just watch this deck like combo off. Like, Phoenix was onto something when he was talking about Dragoonity, and it's definitely very interesting what you can see. But Remus and all the other new support that we have coming, yeah, we don't have Boral and Dragon, which I kind of wish we did. For some reason, they're just like, oh, the TCG doesn't need this. Come on, guys. Come on, don't do that to me. So, modern Dragon Link is a little bit more fragile than I think Dark Ruler No More. The format's definitely shifted into like going second. So like Dragoon, Dark Ruler No More, Droplets, Lightning Storms, Debate Negates. We have all of these hard hitting cards against these style of decks, and unfortunately, you just don't see Dragon Link being able to survive the unga bunga, me board go boom boom. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want from it? So, that's definitely where we're sitting right now with Dragon Link. Now, I actually want to argue here that the best deck in the room might actually be Eldritch right now. And that's really saying something, because when you look at these Eldritch variants, you're like, it's just an engine, Robbie. Honestly, they've had so much representation. So this is where I said we go back to our Invoked point here. So you obviously have Invoked, what is it? Invoked Eldritch. You have Dogmatica Eldritch Zodiac. You also have like Dragoon splashing its way in here. Do you see like how crazy this engine is? Like, you're like, okay, today I want to play Invoked Dragoon. No, we're not trying to play some like homunculus 60 card crazy variant. No. But I do think for the bare bones of like super competitive play and how you can mix in with the variants, I think obviously like the Zodiac variant is the second strongest engine to play with the deck. But then you'll see people like, well, I can splash in like a 5-card Dogmatica package, or you're like, hey, I can fit in, the Dragoon package in here. It comes down to what is your flavor of the month for this. So I definitely think that's probably the most interesting thing that we're seeing right now out of the metagame is Eldritch has taken up that adaptability spot and at least put traps back into the metagame. So, take it for what you get, guys. I'm at least happy that we have, well, some sort of cool stuff. So, what do you guys think? Alright, please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day for some more cool, awesome content. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCool40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCool40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcoolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.